welcome to my channel where we talk about cool cars, cool technology, and alternative fuels. Welcome back. Today we have a 2011 Mercury Grand Marquis with a few very interesting features that I have recently installed. Allow me to demonstrate. Unlock doors.
Okay.
Let's take a look. This car is equipped with something extremely special. It's equipped with Amazon Alexa. It's got an Echo Dot right here installed, along with a lot of other technology that's based on some of the Arduino Wi-Fi modules and things like that. Every button that you see in this vehicle, from cruise control to overdrive off to wipers to HVAC, it can all be controlled via Alexa, via voice control through the Dot, or via the Alexa app through a phone or through this tablet that I have right here. Now, this system is also connected, the audio part of it is connected to the radio. So the audio output of the Alexa is tied into the radio so that you'll hear the responses from Alexa through the speakers, and you can also ask Alexa to play music, and you'll hear that through the car's radio system as well. So it's a completely integrated system. Now, it's not completely done. I haven't got everything covered up. I got some loose ends down here that need to be covered up, but it is completely and fully functional, and I will now demonstrate just a few of the features, some of the main ones that I use on a daily basis, both through the Dot and through cellular device. So the first thing that I can do is I can ask it to start up the vehicle. Turn on car. Now that powers up the auxiliary system, so everything but the engine, just like if you turn the key on to the ignition on, so key on, engine off position, I can tell it to turn it off. And I can also call it with the computer invoke name. There we go, I called it. Turn off car.
Okay.
And of course that powers everything down. Now if I want to go ahead and turn on the car and start the engine, all I have to say is, computer, turn on engine. And there we go, 4.6 liter is now in operation. So once it's running, you can't drive off with it. So that means if you use that as it can be used as a remote start feature. If you used it as a remote start feature through the cellular device, somebody couldn't just jump in and drive off with it because mechanical interlock with transmission shifter. You have to put the key in, and then you can shift gears. But it doesn't necessarily need the key just to start the engine, get the climate control running, etc. Speaking of climate control, we have a few commands there. Computer, lower temperature.
Okay.
And I don't know if you saw that, but down here on this screen, I'll do it again. Lower temperature.
Okay.
There we go. We knock it down a degree by each lower temperature. I can also tell it to turn off the air conditioner compressor. Computer, turn off compressor.
Okay.
And you see it went from automatic to vent. And in this car, that disables the air conditioning compressor, which absolutely never needs to happen in Houston, but it's there in case I need it. I can also ask it, computer,
Sorry.
turn on air conditioner.
Sorry, I didn't find a device named air conditioner.
I pushed the button before I said computer, and it doesn't like that. I'll let it cancel out. Computer, air conditioner.
Okay.
Aha, there it goes. Back to automatic, and the compressor kicked back on. I don't know if you heard the engine lurch down, but it's now cooling again. It also can do indicators and stuff like that. But one of the most gimmicky features of the whole thing is, of course, a little bit more of a party trick than necessarily useful, because you wouldn't necessarily want to go through lower temperature just to get the temperature lowered when you can push the cold button and it'll lower itself. But one of the crazy features that I've got in here is a little reference to the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey. So I can say to it, open the pod bay doors.
I'm sorry. I cannot do that.
I don't know if you...
error is jeopardizing the mission.
So I hope you heard that. I don't know if I had the radio turned up loud enough, but it said something to the effect of, I'm sorry, I cannot do that. Human error is jeopardizing the mission, and it also honked the horn. So it's just a bit of a reference to that movie there that I thought was funny, so I programmed it in. Now, I can also do something very useful. It's from the cellular device, and that's where a lot of these features really come into their own as a cellular device, because away from the vehicle I can do everything I can do with a key fob and so much more. I can push every button in the car from a phone via touch or voice. So if the vehicle were to be stolen, and I'll just say somebody's got the key, because all the buttons in here work normally as well, so everything can be touched normally. So somebody has the key, they can, if I tell it to turn it off, turn off car.
Okay.
Right, so somebody has the keys, put the key in normally, crank the motor up, and somebody drives away with the car. Well, I can pull up the app from the phone or computer, anything that runs Alexa, and I can go in here and I can ask it to turn off the vehicle and disable it so that the ignition no longer works. So all I have to do is say, emergency stop, and
the vehicle has been stolen. Engine is disabled. Please pull over. When engine stops, power-assisted steering will be reduced and brake applications will be limited.
Right, so in this case it played from the phone. I can also have it play that message from the radio in the car. It's just a click of a button on the Alexa app. But you'll see if you look at the dashboard, hopefully we can get that in frame there, that we no longer have tachometer input. We got a tire pressure monitoring fault. I can't crank the car. I'm trying to crank it. Nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. To disable it, I have to tell Alexa, computer, turn off emergency stop.
Okay.
And boom, ignition's back on, and engine can be cranked up again. And then we're back in business. So that's very nice. If somebody didn't know the invocation command or the call command, there'd be no turning the car back on, and what other car is going to have a system in there like that where somebody would know what to do? Like you saw before, it can unlock the doors, it can also lock the doors, and it honks the horn when it does that. And it has a demonstration mode as well that shows that it can, not only does it get to control the lights outside, but I've actually removed all the factory wiring, or at least tapped into it all, intercepted the wiring, and it can control all the lights independently. So if you, for some reason, I wanted to program the lights to do something crazy independently, I can. So we'll take a moment and step out of the vehicle and take a look at that. Right, so now we're outside the vehicle, so I can demonstrate a few things that it can do outside the vehicle. So it can control all the lights and do blinkers and all kinds of things like that, but there's a demonstration mode I have programmed in that really just showcases the independent functions that it can do, so the independent light control that it can do, and all the basically crazy stuff that you can do with software by adding it to something as simple as a vehicle. So put it in demonstration mode, demo mode.
Welcome to the electronic car of the future.
So it plays your little message, welcome to the electronic car of the future. I can also have it played inside the car, but we're outside. So it's doing independent flashing of the lights up here. That's just, it goes through different patterns and that kind of thing. But you can also go around back. And around back, there's lights flashing back here. They do this independent patterns as well, but it just kind of shows the crazy things that it can do. And I can also pull it back up, and I'll just manually ask Alexa to turn it off, and there it goes, it's all turned off, back to normal. I can also, while we're back here, I can ask it to open the trunk. Open trunk.
Okay.
And there we go, the trunk opens just like that. So, nice features to have if you're outside the vehicle, you're walking up to it. I don't have it set up on this phone, but if you have a phone where it's set up so that you can just call Alexa from a command word, just like the dot, you can say, computer, open trunk, boom, the trunk's gonna open. Computer, unlock doors. Computer, turn on engine, it's cooled down, ready to go when you get in there. So it's a very oversized and overcomplicated key fob that's very, very nifty. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. And yes, it is a little bit of a party trick more than an actual something useful, other than the few features you use outside the vehicle. But I just thought it was a very interesting way to put some technology into something that didn't have a lot of technology and that really could benefit from it on a mobile platform. Thank you so much.